Hey everyone, this is Dr. Mungli. In this particular video, I am going to explain to you about Hill equation in brief and in simple terms. Now we all know simple enzymes have got single subunits and they follow Michaelis Menten kinetics and Michaelis Menten equation. The link for that video, it is there in the description below, and also it is appearing towards the end of this video. Now what is Michaelis Menten equation and what is the reaction velocity curve for the simple enzymes? Let's look at that first and then I'll take you into Hill's equation. Now the Michaelis Menten equation I have written here, it is the initial velocity, that is Vi, equals to maximum velocity multiplied by substrate concentration over Km plus substrate concentration. We all know Km, it is the substrate concentration at which enzyme reaches half of its maximum velocity. So all simple enzymes which follow Michaelis Menten kinetics, so they will exhibit hyperbolic reaction velocity curve, and those are all by simple enzymes which follow Michaelis Menten kinetics. But now we have many of our enzymes, especially the regulatory enzymes or allosteric enzymes in our body, they have got more than one subunit. Basically they are referred as oligomers. Oligomers means having two or more subunits. Enzymes containing two or more subunits are referred as oligomers. Now these oligomeric enzymes, they do not follow Michaelis Menten kinetics because subunits, they will cooperate each other in the functioning of that particular enzyme, or during the catalysis process there will be cooperative phenomenon that will be running between the subunits. So because of that, see, allosteric enzymes which follow cooperative phenomenon, so they do not follow Michaelis Menten equation, and also their reaction velocity curve, it is not hyperbolous but it will be sigmoidal, something like this. Now how to find out how many binding sites of these allosteric enzymes are occupied and what is the degree of cooperativity and all that. In order to understand Hill equation, there is one more example that is used, especially this is used by the Hill, that is Archibald Hill in the year 1910. Biochemist Archibald Hill, he tried to rationalize the function of a hemoglobin molecule. Like out of 4 binding sites in a hemoglobin molecule, how many binding sites are full with the oxygen, especially when it is there in the lungs and when it is there in the peripheral tissue. In order to explain the percentage binding of hemoglobin with the oxygen molecule, Hill has arrived an equation which we refer now as a Hill equation. Now the Hill equation says that the theta that is written here, theta equals to the ligand concentration times Hill coefficient, n is the Hill coefficient, over Kd is the dissociation constant plus ligand concentration over Hill coefficient. Let's look into these terminologies, these some of the things that are present in the Hill equation. Theta is the percentage being occupied by the ligands. Now that is equals to the ligand concentration, it's the ligand concentration, and the n is the Hill coefficient here. What exactly Hill coefficient indicates? Hill coefficient, that is n, it indicates the degree of cooperativity, and the Kd here, Kd is the dissociation constant. It is very similar to the Km present in the Michaelis Menten equation, that is Kd is the dissociation constant which is equals to, Kd is equals to, it is the ligand concentration at which half of the binding sites are occupied. It is similar to Km. Km is the substrate concentration at which half of your enzyme reaches half the maximum velocity. In the same way, Kd, it simply indicates it is the ligand concentration in which your protein has bound, half of the protein binding sites are occupied, and the ligand concentration over n. So this is what is the Hill equation, that is theta equals to ligand concentration times Hill coefficient over Kd plus ligand concentration times Hill coefficient. So when Hill coefficient is equals to 1, that means there is no cooperativity running in that particular protein. No cooperativity is running in that particular protein. If the n is more than 1, that is basically positive cooperativity. And if n is less than 1, if the Hill coefficient is less than 1, it is a negative cooperativity. So this is what is a Hill coefficient indicates. Hill coefficient equals to 1, no cooperativity. Hill coefficient more than 1, positive cooperativity. Hill coefficient less than 1, negative cooperativity. So when the Hill coefficient is more than 1, when there is a positive cooperativity, so as you can see here, this is the sigmoidal curve. So during positive cooperativity, so sigmoidal curve will shift towards the left side of it. So there will be shift in the left side of sigmoidal curve. And when there is a negative cooperativity, so the sigmoidal curve will be becoming more sigmoidal, so it will shift towards the right side. So this is what is in simplicity. So Hill equation, it simply says that what is the percentage of your protein is being occupied by the ligands. So it just says the percentage, it doesn't exactly say the number of ligands being occupied, number of ligands that are occupying a protein binding site. So in a perfect world, Hill equation or the theta doesn't indicate the total number of binding sites being occupied. It empirically gives a value, and that is the percentage of your protein being saturated or being occupied by the ligands. In simple terms, this is what is the Hill equation, which is very close to Michaelis Menten equation. That is Vi equals to Vmax multiplied by substrate concentration over Km plus substrate concentration. So the Hill equation is theta equals to ligand concentration times Hill coefficient over Kd plus ligand concentration times Hill coefficient. When the n, that is the Hill coefficient, which indicates the degree of cooperativity. If it is 1, there is no cooperativity. If it is more than 1, there is a positive cooperativity. And if it is less than 1, there is a negative cooperativity. So this is all about Hill equation. I hope this particular video has simplified understanding of Hill equation. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next video.